The tips and tricks segment is around the 5-minute mark where I talk about placing progress when there is a limitation on how much progress you can place. All right, let's go with the Wastes of Eriador. So side 1A, across the waste setup. Set the pack leader aside out of play. Make the Shrouded Hills the active location. We're going to add the time objective to the staging area with Daybreak face up. And then the first player is going to take control of a Marthiel. And then we're going to shuffle the encounter deck and then reveal one encounter card per player. Yeah, this quest is really hard and it's really thematic. You have stuff happening during the daytime and then at night things get really dangerous. Side 1B, it's 20 quest points, and then while it is day, each hero is going to get +1 willpower, but when it becomes night, we are going to have to raise each player's threat by 1. So let's set the pack leader out of play. So let's look at this objective. Daybreak, time. It is day. Enemies do not make engagement checks. Forced, when it becomes day, return each enemy in play to the staging area, and then forced, at the end of the round, flip this objective over. On the other side, it is nightfall, and it is night. Progress cannot be placed on quest cards, and encounter card effects cannot be canceled. Forced, when it becomes night, reveal an encounter card. That sucks. And then forced, at the end of the round, flip this objective. That's good. So this is very thematic. When it is daytime, the enemies go into hiding, and then when it's nighttime, they come and try to attack you. We are currently at the Shrouded Hills. It's 5 progress. And then when there is only 1 quest card in play, Shrouded Hills gain surged. We also are being helped. A Marthiel is here. So Marty, he's a 1/3/3/3. He's a Dunedain Ranger Warrior. Response, after an enemy engages the player, give control of Marty to that player. So if he leaves play, we're going to lose the game. And in my opinion, one of the best ways to take down this quest is with any sort of swarm decks. We're going to do a Gondor swarm. So once again, Lore Aragorn is here. 2/3/2/5, and then in the refresh phase, I can drop my threat back down to my starting threat. Anytime I have a quest that makes me raise my threat a lot, Lore Aragorn is always kind of the go-to. We also have Leadership Boromir, a 1/3/2/5 Gondor Warrior Noble, and then while he has a resource, all my Gondor allies are going to get +1 attack. And then instead of Grima, which I've used in the last 2 Gondor swarms, we actually have Eowyn, because she is going to be questing for 4, and then you can discard a card to boost her willpower. But at daytime, she actually gets a willpower boost, so that means on turn 1, she could be questing for 6 if you trigger that ability, which is really, really huge. We cannot get location locked. We need to keep clearing locations, and we need to try to get this 20 progress as fast as possible. There's no reason to sit around and wait. So the Envoy of Peligir, Squire of the Citadel. Yep, I got the Minas Tirith Lampright in here because he's a Gondor ally. 2 Wardens of Healing and an Errand Rider. This is no good. So I want one of my cards that boost willpower. So either Faramir or Visionary Leadership or the Sword That Is Broken. I also have Steward of Gondor in here. I basically want to be giving willpower boosts to my characters and trying to blast through these stages. All right, that seems like a good shuffle. Let's take a look at my mulligan. This one we gotta keep. All right, okay, this is a new card. So this is the Ranger of Cardolan. If you control a Dunedain hero, when you engage an enemy, you can spend a resource and pop this guy into play, and then he leaves play at the end of the round. That means he readies in the action window during the refresh phase, and that makes him a great target for a very good tail. He's very good for swarm decks because he might be able to help you get 2 allies in play for the entire game. Oh, and there's a Citadel Custodian, there's Emery, there's an Envoy of Peligir, some card draw, and some more card draw. Yeah, this is better. I didn't draw those cards I was looking for, but I'm going to be able to draw 4 more cards with the card draw, and I like the Ranger of Cardolan. That's going to help me. So now we have to reveal a card, and wow, did we get a good one. Biting Wind. Assign X damage among characters committed to the quest, where X is the number of characters committed to the quest. Thank you. That is what I needed to feel like I have a good fighting chance against this quest. And then we get the Sword That Is Broken. Okay, so things turned out pretty good after that mulligan. That was a great card to see come up right now. That did nothing. So let's do Deep Knowledge. Raise my threat by 2 and draw 2. We get the Errand Rider. Let's remove a resource around. And the Ancient Matham, that's going to go right into play. I don't have many spirit cards in this deck, so cards like Envoy can be paid for by Eowyn, and there's the Errand Rider to move resources around. So what I'm going to do is spend Aragorn and Boromir's resource to pop in the envoy, and then she gives a resource back to Boromir. And then I'm sending everybody on the quest because enemies don't make engagement checks, so I can optionally engage an enemy, but I don't have to engage anything, so I might as well send as much willpower as possible. All the heroes are +1 will, and we get the Eriador Waste, so it's a 3 threat, 5 progress. While it's in the staging area, we only can place up to 5 progress on the current quest, and then to travel there, we need to engage a warg enemy and deal a shadow card when we do so. When a card like that says you can only place so many progress on a quest, that is literally the quest card. It does not mean the active location. So you can clear the active location and then still place progress on the quest itself. And as you can see, math is hard. I had the number 5 stuck in my head, and I accidentally put 5 progress instead of 4. It's not going to matter. All right, Ancient Mathem draws me 2 card draw cards and a very good tail. Well, that's excellent, because I have that Ranger of Cardolan, and we cannot travel because we have to engage a warg enemy to travel there. So we are just going to go right into the next round. So that means I raise my threat, everybody readies, and then I'm going to flip it to night, and I'm going to have to raise my threat again one more time, and now we're going to reveal an encounter card. So that's why this quest is so hard. You're basically letting the encounter deck have an extra turn every time it goes to night, and we have to get out of this stage as fast as possible, and that's not gonna help. Now I'm lost in the wilderness. It's a 4 progress encounter side quest, and I have to take my entire hand of cards and put it underneath this thing, and the only way to get those cards back is if I clear that side quest, and it's nighttime, so I'm not allowed to place progress on quest cards, so I'm not getting those back this round. So that means I only get to draw my card, and it's a Visionary Leadership, which is really great, but even if I played it, I'd have no resource left in Boromir's resource pool. And the way Visionary Leadership works is all Gondor characters get +1 willpower if the attached hero has a resource. So there's no point in playing that card, and there's no active location. I just don't want to raise my threat. So what do I get? A 2 threat Northern Warg, and then each Warg enemy gets +1 threat when it's revealed. So it's basically 3 threat. So I don't have to raise my threat, but now I can travel. So let's travel to this place. And so I'm going to engage that Northern Warg. He's going to get a shadow card when I engage it per the effect of that location. And then in the combat phase, he's going to get another shadow card. And it's too bad I lost my hand, because the Ranger of Cardolan could have came in play right now. So Marty will defend this. It's going to be a defense of 3. Attacking enemy gets +1 for each damage character I have. Well, I have none. Okay. And then put the topmost warg enemy from the discard pile into play, engaged with me, and deal it a shadow. I don't have warg in my discard pile, so those whiffed. That's nice. And then Boromir and Aragorn draw swords together and slay the warg, and it's morning time. So the sun is coming up over the horizon, and it is now morning, so we can place progress on quest cards, and my heroes are going to get their willpower boost, and I draw another Envoy of Peligir, so that's really great. So Eowyn will pay for her, and then she'll kick a resource over to Boromir, and then I have enough resources where Visionary Leadership makes sense, so let's put that on Boromir, and now all my Gondor characters get +1 willpower, and we are going to quest against that side quest. So the envoys are questing for 2 each, Eowyn's questing for 5, Aragorn's questing for 3. That's putting me at 12 against nothing. I have to clear a 5 progress location. So let's send a little more. I don't want to screw this up. So let's add 3 more willpower. Gotta love these global boosts I got going on already. And then we get, ooh, baby, it's the bloodthirsty warg, 2 threat, 4, 2, 5. And then when it becomes night, he engages you and makes an immediate attack. So you definitely want to engage him in the daytime. And if you don't kill him, that's okay. He's just now engaged with you, so he doesn't engage you at night and attack. So you only have to deal with 1 attack. Okay, I got my cards back. Did you see that? I got my cards. So this guy engages me. I'm going to spend a resource, and the Ranger of Cardolan is going to come into play. And now I have a pretty big attack coming. I'm going to have Marty defend again. He has 3 defense. The Shadow is exhausted character I control. That's fine. The Ranger couldn't have punched through the defense anyway. I just wanted to get the Ranger in play for 1 resource. And then Marty takes a damage from that attack. And we're going to go into the end of the round. So in the refresh phase, I raise my threat. Everybody readies, and then there's the action window that happens before the Ranger of Cardolan leaves play, and in that action window, I will play a very good tale. So I'm going to exhaust 2 allies. One will be the Ranger, one will be an Envoy. They cost a total of 6. Then you give your deck a shuffle. You discard 5 cards, and of those 5 cards, you can put in 2 allies that have a cost equal to the cost of the allies you exhausted. I don't care which 2 allies I get. I just want 2 allies to come into play. So the net result is I spent 1 resource to put these 2 allies into play. So let's see what 2 allies I can pull out of here. There's a Squire, so when he leaves play, he gives a resource to somebody. There's a Citadel Custodian, 2 Errand Riders, and another Ranger of Cardolan. So 5 allies to choose from, and I think I will choose the Squire and the Ranger. I don't need to worry about playing one of those Errand Riders because I have 1 in hand. And getting a Ranger of Cardolan in for, the rest of the game now is great. So he's not going to leave play. But this one he gets shuffled back into the deck. And then we are going to go to nighttime. But what I do here is I actually forget to flip it to night. And I do my whole planning phase. And then I remember I was supposed to flip it to night. So I will be flipping it to night after planning. I should have done it right now. I was just excited to have my cards back. So looking at all these cards, let's draw some cards. So let's do a Deep Knowledge, raise my threat by 2, and draw 2 cards. And we get card draw with Ancient Matham and my 3rd Envoy of the Peligir. Okay, that's nice. I will now play Daeron's Runes, draw 2 cards, and I have to discard 1. Okay, there's 2 nice Gondor allies. The Herald of Anorian, you can do Doom 2 when you play him and put in another ally that costs 2 or less. I'm going to discard this Emery. I don't think I'll ever pay for her. She was just in there because she was a Gondor ally. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is spend all of Boromir's resources to put the sword that was broken on Aragorn. That gives Aragorn the leadership icon. And then Aragorn can spend 2 of his resources to put in the Herald of Anorian. The Herald of Anorian, you can give Doom 2 to put in an ally that has a cost of 2 or less. So I will put in this Envoy of Peligir, and when she enters play, I get to add a resource to a Gondor Heroes pool. So I'll add that to Boromir. And then the Citadel Custodian can come in for free because I control 5 Gondor allies. And then finally, I will pay for the Errand Rider. And then I'll use the Errand Rider's ability to kick Eowyn's resource over to Boromir, leaving him a resource in his resource pool. Bada bing, bada boom. That is the Gondor Swarm in full action. And then that's me remembering I was supposed to advance to night. So I have to raise my threat by 1. And now we're going to reveal an encounter card. So the encounter card I reveal is the North Downs. And when it's night, it is going to be 2 extra threat. So that is a 3 threat location. Okay, that was a lot, but that was a very good planning phase. And I want to note all that happens without Steward of Gondor. So it seems like you need Steward of Gondor for a Gondor Swarm, but you really don't. You can use these allies and the effects they have, and you can get a swarm going very quickly without Steward if you haven't drawn it yet. So let's send to the quest. I'm going to send 8. I can't place any progress, and we get, Cold from Agmar. Okay, when revealed, each player deals a damage to a hero, and then we're going to attach Cold from Agmar to the quest, and damaged heroes' text boxes are now blank. So I definitely don't want to blank Lore Aragorn's, because I'm going to need to drop my threat back down eventually. So I'm going to blank Eowyn's text box right now. Her ability is the least important. Okay, let's travel. Let's get attacked. So this says after this attack, the attacking enemy engages the next player and makes an attack. Well, there is no next player when you just play solo, so that shadow does nothing. The Squire of the Citadel defended that. Thank you, little Squire. So when he dies, he gives a resource to a Gondor hero, so he'll throw some money at Boromir. And then I have plenty of attack to kill that warg, and that was great. So we got the swarm going. We have no enemies, and we're going to be able to do a lot of willpower this round. And speaking of willpower, I draw Faramir, who also lets me boost some willpower. Okay, that is great. Let's play Ancient Matham on this location to do even more card draw. That's the biggest part of a Gondor Swarm. You got to keep the cards coming into your hand so you can keep the allies coming on the table. I'm not going to play this Daeron's Runes. I'm going to wait until I clear the active location and hopefully get a card that I want to discard out of my hand. I'm in no rush to play cards. I've definitely got the swarm going. So let's just commit to the quest. Any Gondor ally with 1 willpower is currently questing for 3, which is pretty amazing. So there's absolutely no reason to wait around. I'm going to send a lot of willpower on this quest, and let's try to make as much progress as we can. Remember, I should only have 4 on there, not 5. And we get Rugged Country. It's only 2 threat, 4 if we're going against a side quest, which we are not. So we clear that active location. Let's draw 3 cards thanks to some Matham. We get another Herald of Anorian. There's some healing and another Ranger. So that's great. Those Rangers, they just keep getting shuffled back in. So you can keep drawing them, hopefully. All right, let's advance to stage 2, Howling at Night. When revealed, shuffle the discard pile into the encounter deck. We're going to discard cards until we get a warg, and we're going to add that warg to the staging area. Side 2B, it's 15 quest points, and now when it becomes day, we're going to draw a card, and when it becomes night, we need to discard a non-objective ally from play. Discard 2 if there's 3 or more players in the game. So this is why swarm decks are great, because if you need to stay at this stage for a couple rounds, you should have allies to discard, but more importantly, if you're running a swarm deck, you most likely can just blast through this stage in a turn or 2, and you don't have to discard a bunch of allies. So no longer do we have to raise our threat when we advance to night, and no longer are our heroes boosted in willpower. So, once again, I'm discarding those treacheries that deal damage to characters, so very glad to see those go away. Those treacheries are nasty. That's probably the worst ones. But we did get one of those big wargs again, so it is daytime, so I'm going to optionally engage it, so I don't need to have to engage it when it becomes night and it makes an attack. And I have a couple options here. Who do I want to defend with? I'll defend with Boromir. There is no shadow. That's a nasty treachery. Glad to see that go away. He takes a couple damage. I should be getting a Warden of Healing in very soon. And then between Aragorn, Marty, and a Ranger of Cardolan, I can kill that warg, so that's wonderful. My threat is creeping up there, but I think I can hold off for another round. Okay, so it's nighttime again, so that means we need to reveal an encounter card. And then when it becomes night, I need to discard an ally. So I think the ally I will discard is this Aaron Rider. I really don't need to worry about scooting resources around. I've pretty much got my swarm going, and it's okay that Eowyn builds up a resource or 2. So we get the White Warg. So after it engages you, we're going to deal a damage to a character, 2 damage if it is night. Okay? So I can't place progress on quest cards, but I can try to clear that active location. And we draw the Minas Tirith Lampright. He has some ability. It has something to do with Surge. I don't know. Doesn't matter. It's a body. It's a body that Eowyn can pay for. So I will probably be putting him into play. I am going to put the Herald of Anorian in first, so spend 2 leadership resources. And then I will do Doom 2, getting dangerous. And that lets me put in the Warden of Healing for free. The Warden, of course, you can exhaust and heal 1 damage on 2 different characters. So I'm going to try to undamage characters that I care about their text boxes. So if I get that Cold from Agmar again, Boromir won't be able to boost everybody's attack. Well, I have a Daron's Runes. I might as well play it. I don't really even know what I'm looking for at this point. So let's play that Daron's Runes and see what we find. We get another Warden of Healing and a very good tail. Well, I have that Ranger of Cardolan in hand, so I might be able to get a few more allies in play this round. What makes the Gondor Swarm so good is you should be able to keep pumping allies into play faster than the encounter deck can kill them. All right, so the Daron Runes, I do have to discard a card. I'll discard that other Warden. I don't think I'll ever need more than 1. So all I want to do here is quest for enough to clear that active location. So let's send 11, and we get another warg. This time it's the Hunting Pack. Okay, so when I make an engagement check against this guy, he gets -1 engagement cost for each damaged character. He attacks for 6, and it takes 9 attack to kill him. So that's a big enemy. But we do clear the active, which is great. Both these guys are coming down because my threat is 47. That's not terrifying. I got to deal some damage when that White Warg comes down, so I'll put that on Eowyn. And let's figure out how I'm going to handle these attacks. I think we will definitely put in this Ranger of Cardolan when they engaged me. I almost forgot to do that. So he came in, and then, yeah, I think I'm just going to chump. So deal 1 damage to the defending character. Well, he has 2, so that's a good shadow to be aware of. That I got a little lucky there. I don't think I realized that was a possibility for a shadow. And then the next guy, I think the Ranger of Cardolan I snuck in can handle this attack, and it's exhaust a character I control. All right, so I will exhaust one of these heralds, and I should be able to kill these guys. So these 3 characters swing for 9, take out him. And then remember, Gondor characters have +1 attack. I'm sorry, Gondor allies have +1 attack because Boromir has a resource, and there's no Cold from Agamar blanking his text box. So with the characters I have left, I can take out that last warg. And so that was a very successful turn. And then I am at 48 threat. So what we're going to do in the refresh phase is trigger Aragorn's ability, and I'm going to drop back down to my starting threat. So threat shouldn't be an issue for the rest of the game. And then the Ranger of Cardolan and the Citadel Custodian are going to exhaust to a very good tail, and that's a total of 9. So I should be able to put any 2 allies that I find into play. So let's give the deck a shuffle, and we're going to discard 5 cards, and we're going to see what allies I get. So here's the 5 cards. Okay, we get another Herald of Anorian, we get another Minosaurus Lampright, and then no allies. Okay, so no choice, but I just like putting more allies into play. It just makes it so you have chump blockers and questers, and it works. Ranger of Cardolan leaves play. He gets shuffled back in at the end of the round, and then we're going to flip to daytime. Okay, when it becomes day, we get to draw a card per the quest card effect, so that's very nice. So I'm going to be drawing 2 cards. And we get another copy of Sword that was broken, and the Ranger came back. Okay, that's my hand. Nothing I really need to play or can play, really. I could play that Ranger of Cardolan, but it's better just to sneak them in the quest phase. So the Warden of Healing, he healed 2 damage off of different characters, and now I'm going to commit to the quest. So once again, any Gondor character that has 1 willpower is actually questing for 3. My heroes do not get the willpower boost, but I am sending a ton. I'm sending 21, and we get to Shrouded Hills. That says I have to surge it because there's only 1 quest card, and then I get to North Downs, which is only 1 threat as well. So yeah, I only added 2 threat. No problem. We handled stage 2 like a champ, and now we're going to go to 3A, Battle with the Pack. So we're going to flip it to night. We're going to add the pack leader to the staging area. The discard pile gets shuffled in, and then we discard cards until we get a warg enemy. But we would only do that if there were 2 or more players. Okay, 3B, 5 quest points. Pack leader cannot take damage unless there's 5 progress tokens on this stage. When it becomes day, we discard all progress from this stage, and then we cannot defeat that stage unless we kill the pack leader. And he's a 4/5 4/8 1 engagement, so he's coming down. He's a creature, he's a warg, he can't have attachments, he cannot be optionally engaged, and then after he engages you, we're going to exhaust a character we control for each warg enemy engaged with you. So that's pretty nasty, and it really is a lot of triggers and weird things to keep track of. Okay, so it became night, we got to reveal a card, and we get a warg. It's the Northern Warg. So we're going to travel to the North Downs, I think, and then the trick here is you have to remember how engagement checks work. So you start with the enemy with the highest engagement cost first. So that would have been the Northern Warg. So the Northern Warg, you do an engagement check against. He's going to engage me, and then I'm going to engage the pack leader. And then the pack leader says I'm supposed to exhaust a character for each warg enemy engaged with me after he engages me. And I misplay this a little bit. I only exhaust 1 character, but technically I should be counting the warg leader himself. So I should exhaust 2 characters. So let's just say I exhausted that Ranger of Cardolan over there on the right. Because I got engaged by some enemies, I'm going to pop the Ranger of Cardolan from my hand into play. And we're going to have 2 attacks here. And remember, the pack leader, he can't take damage unless I've placed 5 progress on the quest. Okay, so the pack leader attacks, I'm going to chump. It's +2 attack, so super dead. If that had been a deal of damage to the defending character, I would have just had to kill Eowyn. I think I could have survived without her, but that's what my plan was going to be. And the Ranger I popped in defends here. He's going to take a damage, and the only enemy I can attack is the Northern Warg, so it was okay that I forgot to exhaust somebody. And then, yeah, we go into the refresh phase. Everybody's going to ready, and I draw a card after shuffling in that Ranger of Cardolan, and I got a Steward. Okay, great. So I will put that on Aragorn. He now has the Gondor trait, and he's going to be getting 2 resources around, which is good because he has the lore and leadership icons. I will use the Warden of Healing, and so he will heal Marty, and he will heal Éowyn, and then I'm going to spend 2 resources off of Aragorn to ready the Warden back up, so in case I need to use him again, or I need to exhaust somebody. Okay, it becomes day. I should have already done that. So that means the pack leader goes back to the staging area. And now I'm going to do my absolute best to put the 5 progress on the quest card, and then I'll be able to kill this pack leader at night. So I'm sending a lot. I will send 18 once I got it all figured out. It's a lot to keep track of. All of these Gondor characters are getting double boosted. The sword, the visionary leadership. Éowyn's questing, she can discard a card if I need to. Okay, we get a Surgy Wolf, and then, oh boy, another Surge card, and it's Make Camp, so I'm not allowed to heal anybody. Oh, and here we go, Cold from Agmar. Deal a damage to a hero, I'll choose Aragorn. So that is the combo, that is the very bad combo. So I can't heal anybody, and I can't trigger any effects on characters that are damaged. Their text boxes are blanked from that Cold from Agmar, so the encounter deck pulled off a pretty decent combo here at the last second. I did make enough progress. The Shrouded Hills should have been one more threat because it gets threat based on the number of quest cards in play. And then I can't optionally engage the pack leader, so I only can optionally engage this Warg. And so let's take care of this guy. He doesn't attack for much, so the Ranger of Cardolan will defend. The attacking enemy gets +1 for each quest card in play. Okay, well now he's attacking for a little more. So the Ranger takes 2 damage, and then I can swing back with my heroes and kill it. And we're going to go into night. I have to reveal a card, and I'm worried about the treachery that removes progress from the quest. And I get, oh god, weight of responsibility. Reveal 1 encounter card for each quest card in play. Well, that's Surge times 2. So we get a Freezing Blast. It's Doom 2, and then we got to remove each damaged character from the quest. Okay, that doesn't really do anything. And then the other one is, oh, geez, this Bloodthirsty Warg is back. So this will be the 3rd time I've needed to deal with this enemy. But he engages you when it becomes night, so he doesn't automatically engage me right here. Alrighty, I can't heal anybody. I can't place progress on quests, and so I will spend the money to put Faramir into play. And I just basically need to quest for enough not to raise my threat. Hopefully I just can handle these wargs. So what do I get? Oh, it's a treachery. It's Sudden Darkness. When revealed, if it is night, raise your threat by 4. Whew. Okay, thank you, Lord Aragorn, for allowing me to have reset my threat. I am pretty certain that card has ended games for me. Okay, the active location is gone. We're going to engage this Bloodthirsty Warg, and then we're going to get engaged by the pack leader, and I should once again be exhausting 2 characters, but I only exhaust 1, so sorry for that mistake. Alright, so I spent quite a bit of time trying to figure out how to handle combat, so Faramir is going to defend the Bloodthirsty Warg, and it's exhaust a character I control. So then all the planning I just had done off screen, I have to basically recalculate everything. And then, so I'm going to chump, and there's no shadow, so that's good. So he's dead. And basically my thought process was, once again, if I have to deal a damage to that character, and then the hero would have had to take a bunch of damage, I would have just had to kill Éowyn. But I can swing for 9 with my heroes, and the Ranger is 11, and the Envoy of Peligir is attacking for 2, and that's enough to kill the pack leader. The Warden of Healing could have been exhausted if I had played it correctly. So it's all good. That's a win. I hope you enjoyed this one. This is a very hard quest, and good luck with it, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.